Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
We're inside a cafe, which
Yeah.
is why we're behaving all
Nice and
like
formal.
we're good kids.
But we are, aren't we?
We're trying to be soft and not disturb
Yeah,
the two other people who are in this cafe.
I know. So we'll try and obviously talk softly. But hi guys, welcome to our reflections episode of
In Mind We Trust, and we've done two episodes. We've done our intro episode, which was our August updates,
Yes.
and it was our second one was
Season.
released.
Oh yes. Okay.
Our second episode was released.
Yes,
Second
okay.
season, second episode was released
Yeah, 2 on 2. So
recently, which was on school mental health. So where you're talking about,
yeah, we are talking about school mental health, and we are also obviously talking about our first episode and how we received really cool feedback on that.
can I just say I'm just very happy to do this with Akshaya. Yeah.
Aww. So
I just what started off as just like an idea, and we just were meeting and we
Yeah.
discuss ideas and we're like this episode and let's talk about this. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
And we are having very
Yeah.
good. We should totally talk about this place. Too.
Yes.
This is
I wanted to.
I'm going to show the place. You should come here because they've been very nice and they've allowed us to record something. This is the Zina Cafe in Business Bay, Dubai. And we are
Yeah.
having very nice, what is this, mocha coffee?
Mocha coffee. Yeah, so in a place that's so it's a hustle bustle place. Business Way is always packed with people
Yeah.
going to work, coming from office, and we are right next to the metro. But this place feels so nice and serene and calm,
It
and
feels very quiet
yeah,
for
I
Business
just
Bay. This is so nice.
I just hope that we are not disturbing like the other people who want the same
too
space.
late to apologize. Because now we've started
So
and we won't stop.
yeah, so we found this place just by accident. We were just walking to a nearby place where we usually hang out, and we then realized that this looks like a sweet place. The first time we entered, we were like, oh, maybe not. We were conscious and we were not so sure. But
And
I
should we
think,
ask or
yeah,
not ask if we can record?
Yeah.
But we didn't.
I think we have gotten better with like recording and podcasting because initially we were just not sure, and that's why I'm excited to do this every time is because we end up in a situation that is a learning at the end because
Yeah.
we are learning that we're growing as people,
As people.
as
In a new country.
yeah, as immigrants in a new country. We don't want to be rude or we don't want to disturb others, but we also realize that we can take some space.
Yeah, I love that you said that. I
Yeah.
love that you said
And I realized that this is us taking space
taking
and
space.
and
Women, if you're listening.
yeah, and we're just in the middle of a crowd and recording, and we are not awkward, which is a
I mean,
big
I was
thing.
awkward a little bit, but now I'm not.
Yeah, it's a big thing, right? Because we both are not the kind of people who would be in front of a camera podcasting in front of people.
Yeah.
And not mind it. We would always be a little conscious. But you
I'm
remember
more
our
comfortable indoors, but
Yes.
this is like
Yes.
an outdoors indoors situation.
But you remember our first time we were outside in front of the Burj?
Yes,
And
we
we
were
were like-
recording social media,
Yeah, we were like, oh, what to do? What?
and I was awkward pro max.
Yeah. So let's get into the reflections part. Tell me what you thought about the episode that you recorded by yourself when I wasn't there. And obviously, you were recording with your ex boss, colleague, friend, mentor. And when I edited it, I obviously felt like I was there. But how was it for you? How was that experience?
When I was in Bombay, I had these ideas, and I remember I messaged you very late in the night, and I was very excited to talk to people because it was an opportunity when I was in Bombay to meet these friends slash colleagues, etc., and have these conversations. But obviously, I was missing you. I kept telling you that. I've told you this even in podcast number 1 of season 2 that I missed Akshay. But it was an amazing experience. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think for me it was a full circle moment because I've worked with Kiran in the first 4 years of my career.
Yeah.
I have watched her, and a lot of what I did in trainings and workshops was because of her. And it was not very planned. I just messaged her one evening. I said, "Can we do this?" And she said yes. We met 2 days later, and I just said, can we discuss,
Yeah.
something on adolescence or school mental health? And she said yes.
Nice.
No questions were really discussed.
Wow.
She's never done a podcast before, and then she came. We did that discussion, and I watched it once in Bombay before sending it to you, and
Yeah.
then before we could release it on YouTube and Spotify, I watched it again, and I remember messaging Akshay and Kiran saying, I think this is going to be a good one. I think
Yeah.
people are going to love this. It's anyway a topic that is very close to my heart and
Yeah.
Kiran's. And I think whenever we've discussed it, we've
Yeah.
spoken about how childhood experiences or school
Yeah.
as a system has long-term impacts,
Right.
So for me, this was just a wonderful conversation that needed to be out
Yeah.
there.
And I do think, okay, let's start from the start. When you asked me that, hey, I have a few interesting people in Mumbai and I want to, get them on the podcast. And we were trying to find ways of how we can get them on with us both being there. Maybe do do it virtually, or, some other ways. And I was like, we shouldn't miss out on opportunities to get interesting people on board, even if it means one of us is doing it by themselves. And we do a lot of like initial discussions for our listeners. They should know this, right? Because we discuss a lot. We discuss on what do we want to bring up during these discussions with other people, with guests, between us, some questions that we brainstorm. And I think that is a part of planning that I like being in. Also with Kiran, I think you had that more intimate space, and if
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
been there,
No, Akshay, I think if you would have been there, also it would have been
it
fab.
probably was
I think
definitely.
you are very, very, you ask very relevant questions and you have very relevant things to share, even if guests have not been very close to you
Yeah.
or have not been like your friends.
Right, but also I think that it was such a beautiful conversation with you and her.
Right.
Also because maybe you were meeting her after a long time, a gap,
Long
and
time.
this gave you a reason to meet your long lost friends and connect with people,
Also, yeah,
which
yeah.
also gives you a much better angle to do that whole interview. So me being there or not being there didn't dilute or make the conversation any less important. And when I did the editing, I was like really excited because these are not some things people discuss in general.
Yes, yes.
And second, this reflection video, I wanted to focus on how we can um, focus on the parts that were probably not intuitive. For example, what is the long-term impact of those events or those experiences you had as a child in school? I still remember some instances that I've had. For example, how you all discussed about teachers saying something that you donkey come here or things like that. I remember such instances too, and I do think that those instances created an identity within us, consciously or unconsciously, but that does have an impact as adults, right?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I wanted this conversation to be between us, because otherwise then we would have had that episode would have been just like a long episode, because
So this is becomes like a part two to our
part
school
2,
mental
yeah.
health.
So I'm sure we would call Kiran back and have her come and do the podcast again or do a part 2. But also I think that moment was very pure between you and her, and me not being there probably helped it. I'm sure I would have.
I do not agree, but okay.
Well,
Okay.
I'm sure I would have asked relevant questions, but I'm just saying that I was excited and I thought that it was very pure, genuine conversation between you and her. And some really, really important things came out, right?
Extremely, right? Like socio-emotional learning in school.
Yeah.
Why kids need to be welcomed in systems, and it's not on the child to take care of them, their mental health or emotional well-being in a system like a school, but it is every stakeholder's responsibility to sort of welcome the child and not make the child feel invisible.
Exactly.
And I think Kiran also spoke about different stakeholders
Yes.
in the school being taken care of, like whether
Yes.
it's parents or teachers or principals and students and ex-students, all of them being important
Yes,
in forming that school climate. I
exactly.
think she brought out some very valid points.
And how we can see us being a part of a bigger system,
Absolutely.
and how can we change these aspects within the inner systems. I just think those conversations are very important to be had with adults like us, because we can change perspectives as we become parents, or we become aunts and uncles.
Absolutely.
And when we eventually have friends who are having kids, and inform them about such issues, and or inform them how to be available for their kids, and how probably they can be the carrier of a message like this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just think these are important things to be highlighted, and for
Yeah.
everyone who's probably thinking of having a relationship with your nephew, niece, child, whoever, just make sure that you understand the importance of the conversation that you and Kiran had, or the topics that you all brought out, right?
And you asked something very relevant before, right? Like, how do these experiences impact our adult life? It does, right? Doesn't it? I mean, think about your own school experiences or experiences with adult neighbors, parents, aunts, uncles. And if they've said things, it affects our confidence, it affects our self worth,
Yes.
it affects how we, interact with
Exactly.
people of a certain gender or
Yes.
with our authority figures. So I think, and that affects your work, that
Yeah.
affects your personal relationships, which is why these childhood experiences, including your school experiences, are super, super, super.
Yeah.
Hi guys, and
Okay.
welcome to part 2 of the reflection. Because while we were inside the cafe, there were other people talking, and you cannot tell people to not talk, even though I wanted to. I know. But Akshaya was being very nice and mannered. So we're outside.
Okay.
The cafe has an outside seating. So
So I wanted to
Akshay, continue. Yeah.
I wanted to share that incident or instance where I thought that my childhood played a part in how I was, and that impacted my professional self. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened. I was interning at a multinational company, and I was just an intern, just right out of college into the big corporate. Lot of processes, lot of people. It was just a lot of overwhelming processes to follow, and so I obviously had deliverables. Obviously had things I needed to do, and I was really good at following instructions. So I would be given an instruction, I would follow it to the T, and I would not go that extra mile, not put any effort in being innovative, creative. Just do what is asked of me, and obviously I was appreciated for it, but also I was told that in a corporate this is not okay. You have to go that extra mile, you have to be innovative, and you can never just sit idle. You always would have to keep on doing things. That actually that was actually a very big shock to me, because first I come from a background of uh, defense or military, and there everyone is just following orders or instructions, right? You're not supposed to do anything more.
Yeah.
So that's a life I knew. And then also growing up, I would be asked to follow my teachers. My teachers would give me instructions, and I would follow them. Even at home, my parents expected a certain kind of discipline, and I would follow it. So there was never that creativity that I showed. I'll tell you again, I was always a creative person. My mind was always going to places where I would be like, okay, maybe we could do this differently. But
Yeah.
also I knew that if I would do something differently, I might not be I would not be
You also don't come under the good student or the good daughter or the
Right.
good ideal person
Ideal
when we
person.
disobey or we think creatively or out of the box.
Or out of the box, or do something that's not normal.
Yes,
And
yes,
so,
yes.
for me, that's something I obviously learned when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
So when I went to that internship and I did what I was asked to do, they were not happy, and I was shocked. I was like, "Oh my god! Now what do I do?" And I still remember, I cried in front of my then mentor boss. That, hey, I come from a certain background. There's no one to tell me that I need to do this, and I did what I was asked to do. And now what? Like, now you're telling me that that's not enough. Like, that, how does what?
Yeah,
Like, how does
yeah,
this work?
yeah, yeah.
And so that's when she guided me a little. She was like, "Listen, this is not how corporate life is. You always are expected to do that extra work. You are always, we always look out for unique factors or characteristics." And that's when I realized this, and I started
Yeah.
being a little more creative. Now I'm always thinking out of the box, and I think I'm appreciated more when I think out of the box.
But you're so true, no? Because Akshay, this is a question that's have been there lifelong. That is school truly preparing you for the outside world?
Right.
Right? Thinking out of the box, creativity, empathy, 21st century skills. I know today in schools would be a different environment than maybe when we were in schools. But you're right, and now that I'm thinking, even in families, right, there's so much emphasis given on obedience of family systems,
Yes.
school systems, neighborhoods telling us be a good person, and a
Yeah.
good person means those who follow and are obedient. But when you want to be a
Yeah.
leader at the workplace or something outside of college, it's just very contradictory to what
Yeah, we are taught.
you're taught for the first 16, 18 years of your life.
And this is maybe very, very specific to the Indian subcontinent, only because we hail from there, right? We grew up there, we studied there, we were in a particular education system at a certain period of time, which is very different now, I understand. But I'm just curious how I would have turned out to be if my parents would have been a little less strict in terms of, okay, follow your teacher, say what your teacher does, or and if I did something
Yeah,
out
like
of the box.
question things, be curious.
But listen to this. When there was a time when I was thinking out of the box, or I did something that was not what my teacher asked me to do, my parents would side the teacher, not me. And so that reinforces the behavior.
Absolutely.
As a child, I would then think that, okay, maybe me thinking out of the box is not going to work ever. So let me not do it, because I want to be appreciated by my parents and my teachers, and I want to be obedient, but I would suppress those creative thoughts.
Absolutely. And you're talking about suppressing creatively. Now imagine even emotionally when we have to talk about this, right? Let's say a teacher upsets you. Parents and teachers alike would say, you're not right in feeling this way. That person is older, so that person is right.
Is right.
So we're actually telling young individuals that your feelings are not valid
Not valid.
unless an adult approves of
Yes,
that,
yes.
and that's not fair because
That's
kids
not.
feel as much as adults do,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
kids can feel angry with the teacher, and that's okay as long as we are allowing and helping kids to see how you can communicate that anger,
Communicate, yeah.
regulate it, figure communication or figure ways around that anger or any emotion.
I think the word that you used, regulate, that also came up during your
Podcast episode.
conversation.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking of the time when there were moments when kids would, throw tantrums, and those are very clearly defined as tantrums. I would think that now, because of so much, discussion, so much, so many things that are brought out in the open, that parents and teachers would be more aware of the fact that these are not tantrums. These are just kids not knowing how to regulate their emotion.
Absolutely.
And if you keep putting those actions and behaviors in a box that's called tantrums, it's never going to be controlled, or it's never going to be addressed.
Absolutely.
It's never going to change,
Absolutely.
basically. And yes, kids have it difficult, right? Because they don't know how to regulate their emotions.
And they have to be taught this
Taught,
either by family or
yeah.
some supportive adults or schools.
Yes.
I would, however, say this, Akshaya, that I have seen a change in schools. Now, I can speak only from the example of Bombay, okay? When I was in school, maybe we didn't have a lot of mental health or socio emotional learning sessions. But when I entered the workforce, the first 6 years of my career, I did a lot of preventive, promotive mental health work within school systems. And I feel like, what was that? That was about 15 years after I was in school, and I think I saw standard deviations worth of change.
Oh, okay.
And I was working primarily in government schools. So NGOs working in government schools, BMC schools.
Yeah.
And I want to be very hopeful about that.
Yeah.
Because we saw that even if there was 5 to 10% of change in environments,
Yeah.
the kids were responding beautifully, the teachers were responding beautifully, parents were responding beautifully, they were asking right questions,
Yeah.
they were their interactions within themselves, student to student or student to teacher,
Yeah.
we saw those changes. And now that work has also been 8 years back. So I'm hoping that with
Hoping,
every
yeah.
year there's so much of good work happening in
Yeah.
schools, and we all know that's needed.
Yeah.
If there are school stakeholders watching this,
Yes.
parents, neighbors,
Yeah.
anybody who's having kids around them, I think we know we don't need to emphasize more
Yeah.
why mental health work or emotional work starting young needs to start young.
Yeah.
If you have young people around you, talk to them about their emotions, ask the right questions, be
Yeah.
curious about students and kids,
Yeah.
let them express, let them vent.
Yes.
So many times kids know and feel what they are going through, but they don't have the emotional vocabulary for it. So a little bit around that, right? First educate yourselves as adults
Yeah.
about what these emotional words are, what these feeling words are. It's valid to feel these
Yeah.
things, and then make it very non-judgmental even for kids.
Yeah.
To
And-
feel and express.
And this is just what's it called? Work so that people don't turn up as adults having a lot of issues.
Absolutely.
What's it called? Reformative work or no?
Reform it.
Not reformative. What's that word?
I was thinking more from the lens of preventive. It's preventive, no?
Yes,
Preventive
sorry.
work.
Preventive.
So you
yeah.
can prevent a lot of
Yes.
mental health distress.
Distress. Yeah.
Hopefully.
True,
If we take these precautions
Yes.
earlier.
Yes, and it's only going to get more and more high functioning environments in the future. We live in a very fast paced dynamic world, and I think we all need to be sane adults to go through this world without actually
Sane
having-
adults in this insane world.
insane world. Yeah, to not have issues is already, like, it's an abnormality. You're an
I'm
outlier when
saying
you don't have an issue.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that we can't guarantee that there won't be other issues as you grow
Of
older.
course.
But there are steps and ways when we are young that
Yeah.
can help promote better mental health outcomes, that can help promote people to take care of themselves better.
Yeah.
And they can start, and not, again, we don't want to put emphasis only on schools as a system. Schools are a very important system, but different systems as we are where we are growing up in, right? So schools, again, family,
Families.
religious institutions, the classes that we go to, our
Yeah.
neighborhoods, all these are systems in which children
Yes.
are getting shaped.
There we go. There we go. You heard it from the boss. But
Oh.
I'm just so happy that this was discussed. I'm so happy that we got a chance to discuss. I know it probably is shorter and it's not as elaborate in this conversation, but I think this was an amazing topic, and I would love for her
Kiran to come back.
and
Yeah.
actually sit with us, sit in the middle of us, and discuss this again, because it's a topic that's never ending. We would have so much to discuss on the impact of our childhood and how we never realize that there are so many factors that impact our adulthood. Um, how can we make experiences better for others? That's something I think we need to focus on right now, because we are all learned individuals, and I feel we can make impacts.
Yeah.
And I just wish we can be um, people who are going out there and making a change in someone's life, and even if it's just one or two individual, it's still a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this reflection with me.
Of course, thanks for doing the podcast with Kiran. Thanks for being here and doing this with me, changing scenarios, so many moving parts, and just a hilarious.
This is exactly what Akshay wanted in season 2,
Yes.
by the way. Shooting more outdoorsy. So we're doing outdoorsy.
But at least we are not uncomfortable. At least we are
Speak for
just
yourself, Akshay.
we are.
I was a little uncomfortable
Yeah.
in the beginning.
we are better
I
off
think
now.
people are staring at us from within the
Yes,
cafe. But no.
it'll just be a fun element for you guys. You might not find our topic interesting, but you might find the third person in the video interesting. So thanks again, guys. Keep
Thank you.
watching. Watch out for the next
Watch out
episode.
for more episodes.
All right, bye.